Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Right at the beginning, Chairman has already flagged issues that are related to this very interesting session. I'm picking up the topic of solar power. We know that there has been tremendous growth of solar power during the last few years. Already the global installation is nearing 350 gigawatt. The prices of the solar modules have come down drastically. And there is tremendous potential of solar energy to be exploited. But then the question is coming that in the future, if we continue like this, how sustainable would be solar power? Because one thing we know that the solar power plants, they require large area to be installed. Right now, and land is always a scarce resource. Right now, we are trying to find out solutions by thinking of rooftop solar and floating solar. Policies are being framed, standards are being worked out, there are regulations which are being formulated, and business models are evolved so that these technologies can be implemented in a large scale. But there is another area where people are working. That is, we know the efficiency of solar modules are less than 20% if you take the average. It is possible to increase the efficiency of the solar conversion. When it's with the technology, we are using solar radiation to convert it to electricity, but we use very small spectrum of this large solar spectrum, small band for converting this energy to electricity. So it is possible to squeeze out the maximum of the solar spectrum. So technologies are being developed, for example, multi-junction solar cell, where number of single junction solar cells are being put up one over the another with larger band gap at the top and smaller band gap. And so that you can use more and more of the photons that are available at the top of the solar cell. Therefore, you can increase the efficiency, and increasing efficiency of solar cells or modules means the lower space you generate more power. Already multi-junction solar cells of above 40% efficiency are available. And they concentrate the solar radiation over those cells. They generate many more times of the power from the area which is available on the ground. There are other technologies for increasing the solar cells which are being worked out. Also, as has already been pointed out by earlier speakers, there is the problem that solar energy is an indefinite source of energy, stochastic in nature. So if you want more and more penetration of the solar electricity in the grid system, you need to give some more stability. There are many ways. That's what Mr. Sharma had already pointed out. But there are problems. These are to be developed. Nowadays, many batteries have been developed. Compared to our well-tested for many decades, the lead-acid batteries, new batteries of lithium metal, then lithium ion, and now the new lithium technology which Professor Goodenap has developed. Actually, Professor Goodenap, I remember when I was a research student in Delhi University, he came to India late 70s, and we're talking about what he had discovered that time, new lithium-ion batteries. I remember one of our friends was telling the professors, because those days these titles were not very well pronounced. Professor Godenough, he was telling, and professor indicated that he is good enough, G-O-O-D enough. And we found at this time, with the age of 84 years, he is really good enough to develop a new kind of lithium batteries, which is solid-state structure. And there, instead of lithium, one can use sodium, which is easily available. And it has more energy density. It can charge very easily, and it is non-combustible. So one expects that this is going to be a very effective alternative for many of the storage systems. But then the cost is to be brought down. So there are problems. There are problems still for converting the laboratory technologies to manufacturing units, making the technology more stable, then implementation methodology. So there are a number of problems. Those problems are to be solved. Though they sound very good, and it is possible that these solutions of high efficiency solar cells and storage and other methodologies can bring solar in more and more way and can exploit the inexhaustible potential of the solar energy to provide cleaner energy. The solutions are to be found out. These are the challenges. But then, you know, when we are in problems, we normally go to the astrologers. But I have found that many of these astrologers, men and women, are really wise. They say that I can predict the future very accurately, provided you tell me your past. Now, I am taking from this clue because I am from that generation when I have spent a number of years in my career, and when we started our career in solar energy, the basic solar energy technologies had these problems of low efficiency, problems of stability, problems of high cost, problems of implementation. But within this last 30, 40 years, what I have found in my lifetime, that we could solve this problem. Many of these technologies which we never thought would come up has really come up well. Example is the solar power. So if we take this past trend, then we can tell our astrologer that this is my past history. Now you please predict what can be the future. I think very confidently the astrologer can predict that yes, these new technologies will come up. May not be next year, but within 5 years, within 10 years. And we are confident that we will be able to push the solar revolution, not only in this country, but worldwide. Thank you.